So hi folks, how you all doing? Welcome back to Karen Vibes, reading for the mature audience, and I hope you're all doing okay. I hope everything is okay where you are. Well, here in Brownstown, St. Anne, we're having rains from wind. Yesterday was Tuesday, so we had rain from Monday evening, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. And it seems as if it's going to rain the whole day today. So we've been having lots of rain. We're thankful because we know the farmers need it. And all over the island, people have been talking about water. We've been having drought conditions. So we all need the rain. The farmers need the rain. Because if the rain didn't, when the rain doesn't fall, the price of the food in the market goes up. Yep. Go up sky high, you can barely buy anything. So I hope we will get a good amount of rain. So thank God, thank God, thank God. We always have to be thankful for God's mercies, always have gratitude, give thanks for everything. So thank God. Alright folks, so welcome back. So let me introduce the books. So the book that I'm reading now is Flowers in the Attic. Flowers in the Attic, and it is written by Virginia Andrews and it's narrated by moi, Karen Weir. Alright, so remember the last time I was on, I was saying that I had a newer version to Flowers in the Attic, but for some reason I cannot find the book, guys. I can't find the book. I know I have it. I have misplaced it somewhere, but I'll eventually find it. But I'll continue reading the older version. Well, it would be the same thing in the new book, but I'll continue reading this. So after I read this book, remember I was saying to you folks that there's a follow-up to the first book. There's a follow-up, and this is a follow-up. This is a follow-up from this book. So after they would have escaped from the attic, this is a follow-up where they get on the bus and trying to escape. And then after this book, you have another follow-up book, which is book 3. So after they escape and they're adults and what have you, whoever get married or whatever the case is, this book, book 3 tells you everything that you need to know. Who died, who lived, blah, blah, blah. So book 1, where they're in the attic. Then book 2, where they escaped. And then book 3, follow up about their lives, and the story continues. And I think there's another book after this. Yes, there's a final book after this, if I'm not wrong. So folks, we have lots of reading to do. Lots and lots of reading to do. But anyhow, let me say good afternoon. Maybe strange coming on this time of the day, but to say, you know what, I need to get this reading in. And I tend to have a lot to do. But I say, you know what, I need to get the reading in. I don't want it to be dragged out like the last book. When I'm through reading these books, Flowers in the Attic, the episodes, I want to tell you guys about this book. So it's 3 of them. This book is written by Florence Shinn, and it's called The Wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn. And she has 3 complete books: The Game of Life, The Game of Life and How to Play It, The Word is Your Wand, and The Secret Door to Success. And a friend of mine gave me this one. The other books I bought online, yes, a friend of mine some years ago gave me this book. But let me tell you, it is an awesome book. Awesome, awesome book. So if you can get this book online, please try and get this book. It's a very good book. Awesome. I am a person that believes in affirmations. I like to affirm things. And as we all know, the word is your wand. Whatever you speak out into the universe, speaking it out and believing it, yes, it does come true. So this book speaks about that, tells you all about that, and just being positive, having a positive attitude. So guys, yes, if you can, please try and get these 3 books. Alright, so without further ado, we'll just get into the first part of the reading. So the last part we stopped at was, we read part 2, and we stopped at where the twins looked up from their innocent play and stared at the two troopers. So that's where we stopped. So we're going to continue now we're going to continue reading part 3. Ready? Let's go. My husband, whispered Mama. Her voice so weak it was hardly audible. He isn't dead? Ma'am, said the red-faced officer very solemnly. It pains me dreadfully to bring you bad news on what seems a special occasion. He faltered and glanced around with embarrassment. I'm terribly sorry, ma'am. Everybody did what they could to get him out. But, well, ma'am, he was killed instantly. From what the doc says, someone sitting on the he was killed instantly from what the doc says. Someone sitting on the sofa screamed. Mommy didn't scream. Her eyes went bleak, dark, haunted. Despair washed the radiant color from her beautiful face. It resembled a death mask. I stared up at her, trying to tell her with my eyes that none of this could be true. Not Daddy. Not my Daddy. He couldn't be dead. He couldn't be. Death was for old people, sick people, not for somebody as loved and needed and young. Let me pause there. A lot of persons think that way. I think growing up, people used to think that way. Once upon a time, we used to think, well, death was for old people, not for young people. Well, and certain sickness was for old people. Not anymore. Sickness goes right across the board. Doesn't matter which age you are. Yep. Anyway, let's continue. Yet there was my mother with her grey face, her stark eyes, her hands wringing out the invisible wet clothes. And each second I watched, her eyes sank deeper into her skull. I began to cry. Ma'am, we've got a few things of his that were thrown out on the first impact. We saved what we could. Go away! I screamed at the officer. Get out of here. It's not my Daddy. I know it's not. He had stopped by a store to buy ice cream. He'll be coming in the door any minute. Get out of here. I ran forward and beat on the officer's chest. He tried to hold me off. And Christopher came up and pulled me away. Please, said the trooper, won't someone please help this child? My mother's arms encircled my shoulders and drew me close to her side. People were murmuring in shocked voices and whispering, and the food in the warming oven was beginning to smell burned. I waited for someone to come up and take my hand and say that God didn't ever take the life of a man like my father. Yet no one came near me. Only Christopher came to put his arm about my waist. So we three were in a huddle, Mommy, Christopher, and me. It was Christopher who finally found a voice to speak, and such a strange, husky voice. Are you positive it was our father? If the green Cadillac caught on fire, then the man inside must have been badly burnt, so it could have been someone else, not Daddy. Deep, rasping sobs tore from Mummy's throat, though not a tear fell from her eyes. She believed. She believed those two men were speaking the truth. Every time I'm to say the word truth, truth. I tend to like I have list on truth, truth. The guest who had come so prettily dressed to attend a birthday party swarmed about us now and said those consoling things. People say when there just aren't any right words. We're so sorry. Corinne, really shocked. It's terrible. We're very sorry. What an awful thing to happen to Chris. Boy, our days are numbered. That's the way it is. From the day we're born, our days are numbered. These comments went on and on and on, and slowly, like water into concrete, it sank. Daddy was really dead. We were never going to see him alive again. We'd only see him in a coffin, laid out in a box that would end up in the ground, with a marble headstone that bore his name and his date and his day of birth and his day of death. Number the same. But for the year. I looked around to see what was happening to the twins, who shouldn't have been feeling what I was. Someone kind had taken them into the kitchen and was preparing them a light meal before they were tucked into bed. Whoa, sad moment here. Alright folks, let me just pause here. We'll pause there and then we will come back.